Well, Linda, thank you so much for spending a little time with us today. As you know, that the Diversity, Outreach, and Inclusion Award is presented to a person or organization who demonstrates a sustained commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. You have worked tirelessly to guide USTA South Carolina in facilitating conversations and developing plans to create more inclusive environments statewide. You championed the Tennis Together project, an effort to make meaningful change around race in our tennis communities. And as the DE&I committee chair, you led the way in updating our DE&I statement to reflect a more unified association. We are thrilled, and I mean thrilled, to present you with the 2020 Diversity, Outreach, and Inclusion Award from USTA South Carolina.
Wow. Thank you so much, James. This is shocking, surprising, but I am so grateful. I would not have expected it, so it does come very much as a surprise. Thank you so much.
You know, one of the underlying themes of most of the award winners is always their humility. It's those that don't seek the limelight, that don't seek, you know, the recognition, are the ones that are making the meaningful change in this state. And that is certainly embodied in you and exemplified in your character. So thank you for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. When I think you called me up to tell me that I would become the chairperson of the Diversity and Inclusion Committee, I was excited about it, a little reluctant, because I was a little new to South Carolina at the time and hadn't quite put my arms fully around the tennis community. So I was a little nervous, but excited at the same time, because USTA South Carolina, USTA National, I think through their diversity statements have made it very clear that diversity is important. And for me, as an African-American woman, to sit at the helm at a committee for which I have a lot of passion could not have come at a more appropriate time. So for me, it is so much not about me, but more about how do we make tennis better in South Carolina for all people. So for that, I've been so excited, and you're right, humbled by the opportunity, but further humbled by the recognition for the work that we've done.
Well, absolutely. Thank you. So what is that, you know, you talk a lot about what we need to do and how we're going to, you know, make sustainable change. But what does this award mean to you? I mean, this is, how does it make you feel?
Well, as I said a moment ago, it makes me feel humble.
Right.
It makes me feel excited, grateful. And I think more than anything else, it makes me feel like we're doing the right things.
Right.
It makes me feel like the work that we've embarked upon is on the right track for USTA South Carolina. And as I said before, with my particular packaging as a Black woman and the incidents that occurred during the spring with George Floyd, I think it propelled the conversation about race in America to a whole different level. And trying to figure out how to take that news event, that big deal, and apply it very specifically to what we're trying to do in South Carolina, I will say it's been a challenge, but I think working with some of the great people that I've worked with in the USTA's office, as well as the people on my committee, I think that we have put together a program of activities to show not only a policy, but to show that we're willing to put action behind our words. And James, as you know, we've had a wonderful opportunity to engage the board in conversations to hopefully reinvigorate this conversation about growing tennis in diverse communities. So for me, it means an opportunity to spread the word, to define the word, to figure out new programs that can get us to the communities that we're looking to grow. And I would also say, look to expand conversations, because it's going to take more than us to figure out this very hard problem. And so that's what this award means to me. It means a stamp of approval, if you will, of where we're trying to go with tennis, where we're trying to go with diversity, equity, and inclusion that is right-sized right now for the time and period that we're in.
Well, fabulous. And again, it couldn't be more well-deserved.
Thank you.
There are several initiatives that we're doing at the state level that I'm just thrilled about and very honored to be able to participate in. One of which, of course, is the advocacy project, but the other one is the Tennis Together project that you have been a champion of. Can you tell us more about that, please?
Yes, gladly. So within our committee, we've been noodling, how do we really make a difference as a committee? And so there were lots of thoughts about engaging the community in conversations, doing things like trying to collect rackets as a giveaway. At the same time, the USTA office was trying to figure out a response to National's commitment to social injustice. And those dynamics came together, I think, perfectly at the same time around the March, April, May timeframe, working with Tara and Pamela Banks from the staff at USTA. We thought that we had to figure out what's considered meaningful action around race in tennis. And so we came up with the Tennis Together project as a way of promoting meaningful action across the state around tennis. The first step was to get commitment videos. We thought it was important to have people like you, James, and Jennifer, and other leaders in the community talk about what is your commitment to diversity within tennis. I think that project ended up being a great way to get people to speak to where they want to see race go within tennis. We launched Tennis Together on the website last week. We've had quite a bit of action on the website so far. The next big activity that we're faced with is the conversations, which will happen in November. And from that, we hope to engage the full state on how do we grow tennis in diverse communities? What are the barriers? Help us figure this out. So I think the project is all about meaningful action on race. We do not claim to have the answers, but we do claim to have the drive and the passion to work with lots of people to figure it out. That's what Tennis Together is all about.
Well, fabulous. And again, I'm so proud of that. And thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Well, thank you, James, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, USTA South Carolina, for the recognition. And I hope we can take this and do even greater things going into next year.